couple. I don't have the reflection of the glass there, but I've done a couple of Nat King Cole. There's one downstairs, maybe even better than that one. But I sat with him up at Ruscutter's Bay there, and I played golf. That day I picked up his drummer. And there's the drummer down there. I'm trying to remember his name. That he said to me, Tony, make sure he comes back from St Michael's Golf Club for our show at 7 o'clock at this old tin stadium. You remember the stadium down in Ruscutter's Bay? Yes, he was a wonderful man. And I suppose I sat with him for about close to an hour, having a cup of coffee. Frank Sinatra, and that's all the signatures, his signature and all his crew. And he looked at me and he says, my God, because that was when he was a younger man, of course. But the very fact that his signature on, we've lost Frank Sinatra, you know, Robert Hiltman, the great Australian ballet dancer. He was had a great head for a caricature, as you can see. Those big eyes, pop eyes, and the big teeth and the funny little neck. And then, of course, we have Bob Hope. And Bob Hope up there is he came out to Australia a couple of times, and on that, he wrote on it. That was done when he went on a charity golf at the Lakes Golf Club, and it rained cats and dogs. And I went and saw him. Then I went home and sketched and did it in colour, and then went back and he signed it. And the signature faded. So when he came out the second trip, I went to him and told him what he'd written, and he did it again. So underneath that signature, you can just see the other signature. Here we have Louis Armstrong, one of the greats, and his signature's on where that handkerchief is. So, well, for the jazz, he was the greatest. But Sutherland, of course, that's a signature. Unfortunately, it's fading a little bit. I want to get back to see her again if I can, and tell her to do it again. The story was there's the famous things. I went to the theatre backstage, and there was a couple of old ladies sitting there with her well-to-do diamonds, etc., etc. And I said, would you be so kind to sign it? And she looked at it and she said, oh yes. And one of the ladies said, oh dear Joan, I think you're much nicer than that, I wouldn't sign it. And she turned around and said, I am going to sign it. So I give her great credit. She just told her friends to jump in the lake, in other words. Now Victor Borgo, we become good mates. I had him at the Journalists Club when I was a director there as a guest of honour. And every year we correspond with our Christmas cards. And I got a card somewhere to send him some letter down there I want to send to him next week.